Back to a new video. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about snow photography. So let me go and put my headphones back in their case here. So I've done a video like this in the past, just talking about the better ways to get snow photography, right? Because snow is difficult to capture because of the lighting and just like everything is so much flatter but brighter, and so your highlights take a hit, and just all these things that are like you have to think about when you're doing this type of photography. So I thought in today's video I would talk a little bit about how I go about getting better pictures. And the sun is rising as it is 8:25 a.m. right now. I'll probably do another follow-up video once I get back to Washington, just talking about how I go about it with different lighting and different times of day, and just talking about that. So with that being said, let's get into today's video. So first, we're just gonna go outside because I'm inside where it's warm. I'm in a garage, and so we're gonna go outside, look around, see what we find. I'm gonna draw on stabilization on this, and we'll go from there. So. Alright, so that should look a little more steady. Now, as we go outside, I just want to preface a few things. One, I may be a little close to the camera. I don't have a very wide-angle lens right now, so we're going to be fighting with that. Two, it's windy outside. I have a dead cat on my new microphone. Should cut a lot of it, but it still probably isn't going to be perfect. And three, I don't remember what three was. This is what we're looking at outside right now. So, as you can see, we've got snow out there. Come on, focus outside there. There we go. So we got snow, but yeah, we'll see what we're dealing with once we, I zoomed in. Once we actually get outside. So let's go. That's better. Okay, let's go. Okay, so again, snow is difficult because it accentuates a lot of things and also just flattens a lot of things at the same time. If you look around me, everything's very white, and normally there'd be a lot of green, there'd be a lot of color, right? And so this is one of the things we have to think about as we're photographing. So we're going to start right here by the edge of this garage, and I'm going to turn the camera around, show you a little bit what we're working with, and show you how to better capture what's around you. So this right here is what we're looking at, and if you can't tell, let me turn my microphone around. If you can't tell, it's very bright here, right? It's sort of bright here, actually not that bad. And let's say we want to take a picture of this right here, because that would actually be a cool picture. So we can obviously zoom in on it and do our normal shooting. But one thing we're gonna have to do is I flip my lens cap around here, or shadow around, hood around. One thing we're gonna have to do is once we get it in perfect focus like this. All right, so we've taken our picture, and it looks good. It's not, the picture's blurred. I'll throw it up on the screen. But one thing we need to think about is framing. So we can obviously frame it just at the side of the house. We can frame it sideways like this and take a picture. But what's the best way to do it? And so that's what I'm gonna be showing you guys in today's video. So. The one downside of having an external microphone is when you're not in, come on, focus on me, hey, over here, there we go. The one thing that's hard is when you're not, you don't have a easier to use mic. You gotta flip around when you're doing a lot of the vlog style content like this. So we're gonna go over to the trees on the other side of the property, some fallen trees, and just show you what that kind of process would look like. So let's go. As you can see, the sun's coming up. It's very bright. We've got a lot of snow, which is really fun because it gives you a lot of things to take pictures of. But we've got some tracks here we can take pictures of if we want. I'm not going to try and disturb them too much because, again, we could come back and take those pictures. I've talked about taking pictures of leaves a lot, so we're going to ignore those. But as we go over here, I can't talk too loud because it is early morning, and without the insulation of trees, well, not much is left to the imagination. Let's just put it that way. So we're gonna walk over towards the generator, and actually over by the generator is where I took one of my more iconic photos. I'll put it up on the screen now for you guys to see. And just like that, we're at our first photo spot actually. So if we look down here, we see all these leaves in the ground, right? And this is something that can be a really cool photo because you can get down eye level with them and just get a really cool perspective. So I'm gonna flip back over to camera mode and take some pictures, and we'll talk a little bit about how I took them after I take them. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna put that picture up on the screen I just took on the screen for you guys to see. And what I want you to see about it is the focus. So there's not a lot in the background. Obviously I have it at a low f-stop or a high f-stop depending on how you view it. Very shallow depth of field, and what that gets is a very standout, very stark, very unique, if you will, appearance, subject matter, and all that. So as I'm going along, kind of going back to my old haunts since I'm home for the holidays, just thinking about the things I've taken pictures in the past that look cool and just building off of that. So of course we have a lot of sun behind me, or in front of me actually, behind the camera, behind you guys. We got a lot of sun, and so just trying to balance that off of leaves can be a challenge. So we're gonna go to the front yard. Actually, I'm not sure the best way to get there, and go where there's some really good lighting there. As you can see, I'm very much backlit, but my lovely A7S4 or A7 IV is doing a miraculously good job keeping me really well lit. So great job, Sony. I'm looking over at the screen here. Yeah, I'm really well exposed, but the background isn't blown out. That's very impressive. And when I do this, it's still just about perfectly exposed. So that's really cool, really good job, Sony. So let's cut to the front yard and I'll catch you guys there. All right, so we have some wind chimes behind me. I'm trying to get away from them so you aren't interrupting as much. But one thing we can think about here is I have a pile of wood and I have really good angled lighting behind me from the sun. There's a pile of wood down there, so let's go there and I'll talk a little bit about that process when we get down there. So to go there, there's this lovely path I'm going to take. Wind chimes. So we're just going to head this direction and try and not get too much snow on the shoes. It is a brisk 27 degrees this morning, so it's a little cold. Alright, so we're here at the wood pile. This is what we're going to be taking a picture of. That's our sun right there, so we've got quarter lighting there. And here is how we're going to do this. So we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to take pictures and show you guys what I did. So we have the lighting there, so really we can just take some pictures here at this angle and kind of get a really good background light. Now, that's not going to get us very much light in the front here, like right in here, but we can bring that up later in shadows and post. And so that's something we can do. Or we can change our angle and go on the other side where there is light, and we'll probably get some of those too. So I'm going to switch to cameras, take some pictures, and I will show you guys in a little bit what it's up. When you're taking pictures in the snow is using contrast, because snow is so white, everything contrasts to it very strongly. So whatever you can use to get that contrast to make it work for you is really good. So greens, of course, reds, browns, anything that's not white. Staying away from things like a white barn, that's gonna just kind of disappear in your photo. So just keeping things that are stark contrasts. So over here, actually in front of me, I have a lovely green bush and some little green grasses down here at my feet right now. So if we take some pictures of those, I'll show you what I mean. So let's do it. So right here, we have some little green grasses. And if we focus on them, we can see right now that actually looks like a cool photo. So I'll take some photos real quick. All right, so let's see what we're working with. We got our SD card from the camera. That's a little high up. We're going to adjust that. There we go. Okay, so we got the camera. It's in the computer. We're just going to create a new folder. And that's the Command Shift. What is it? It's Command Shift N. And we're going to do snow video. We're going to open it. And then we're just going to open our SD card and copy it. I'm sure this video does look very warm. Hope I changed it in post. We'll find out. What's this? That is very blown out. That is a camera test. So I'm trying to find the photos. Okay, that's not them either. So let's go back. Weird. Okay. Private, 124 gig. That's gonna be it. I often forget the file structure for M4 root. Interesting. for my Sony. It's kind of funky. Really? Okay, it's saying they're in clip, but I'm pretty sure that's just... That's not video clips, that's just, okay. Interesting, so it looks like I have everything actually saving to my CF Express card, which means I need to get a USB-C cable out because I don't have a CF Express card adapter on me. So I'm gonna have to cut the video here, get the footage off. I'll be back. Alright, so we got the pictures off the camera. That took like 30 seconds because they were on a CF Express card. My camera, which is actually what I'm recording to as well, it's a little high. And we just connect that over USB-C. It reads and writes at around 100 to 300 meg. So we have the pictures on my computer. So let's just launch up Lightroom and I'll show you guys what we do in the booth, the magic, if you will. So I'm gonna move this computer here, and while it considers launching Lightroom, I'm bringing you guys over here so you guys can see. There we go. And there's the computer. Okay, so as we're launched now, almost. Please hold. It's interesting because I was actually just copying from a basic non-Thunderbolt USB-C cable, so that's interesting. Alright, so we're here. Yes, I understand how Lightroom works. Okay, I want to import photos and videos. Snow video. Import. Alright, so we're importing the files. It's importing some pictures I took too, just playing around with some sunlight this morning. Alright, let's get into it. So, just at the bottom, I'm just going to show you those pictures I took as well, just to show you how you can play around with light and get some cool shots. That looks kind of cool. I'm not going to do anything with any of these. Okay, so here's our first photo. Okay, I'm going to go full screen here. So we got our first photo. This is the lovely photo of the water faucet. So it's a good photo, of course. And as we go into develop, we're going to need to edit this, right? So, can I just tell you to not? Okay, whatever, fine. So first, we're just going to go ahead and straighten it because it was crooked. And we're just looking for some following line we can follow. I'm going to go with the side of the building because that's the most prominent one in the photo, right? This line right here is the most prominent line in the photo. I'll point at it with a zip tie because you probably can't see my mouse. This line right here, that's our most prominent line. So just make whatever your most prominent line is straight. Now we're just going to brighten up a little bit. And then because it's snow and the picture is very bland and very dull, we're just going to warm it up a little bit like that. Okay. Now we can drop our exposure back a little bit and we can bring up the contrast. Now this is starting to look kind of funky, and so we are going to bring that warmth down just a touch. And now we're going to start just playing with the rest of it. So we're going to drop our highlights so we can actually, because here the brick gets really washed out, like right in here. So as we drop it, now you can see this line right here more and it just looks better. We're going to drop our shadows a little bit, just a hair, and drop the blacks because that's going to make it stick out just a little bit more. Now we're going to go here to our colors. And since this is, I want the image a little bit warmer, but I don't want like these insane bronze colors because it is a winter photo. We're going to go here, we're going to go to our orange and drop the orange. But we want to keep a little bit of color, so if there is any green in the photo, which there doesn't appear to be, we're going to bump those. And there's no blue in the photo, so we're going to kind of leave that as is. Now, I'll play around with a couple of the other things like dehaze, I'll turn just a touch. And I'm going to go back up here and tint it 23 to the, I'll make it a little less actually, 15 to the purple, and then lower our warmth just a hair. So I have it at like 6900 Kelvin right now, or 69998, 6998 Kelvin, I'm gonna bring that back to 7100, 7200. Okay, we're gonna go with 7500 for Kelvin and 15 plus on the tint, and our exposure is 1.5 up. So this is looking good. This looks really good. It's a good clean image. So we're just gonna actually copy that. So Command C, copy all, and we're gonna go over to our next photo. So right there, you can see the difference. You can see it's really changing a lot. Like over here, you can't really see this line as much, and then when you paste it, it brings out a lot of these details a little more. So we're liking it. This one is crooked. We're just going to straighten it. And again, looking for this leading line right here on the edge of the building. Paste. Next. So this is the leaf we talked about. I stopped, I took the picture. We're just going to go ahead and bring up these shadows so we can actually see the leaf. There we go. We can see the leaf. It's looking good. This is a cool picture. And now why? Well, we have our leaf here in the center foreground. We'll straighten up to this back line here, because that's what our main line is. You probably can see it at the top of your screen right here, this line here. We're going to straighten to that. We may try and crop that out, probably not. So let's just go ahead and straighten. We're just going to do this manually. So we're straightening it for this top line up here. Okay, that's not great yet. There we go. Okay, so it's straightened for this top line. Just about perfect there. You can see it. So we're straightened there. Now what we're gonna do, since this is gonna be going on to social media anyway, we're just gonna go ahead and make that a lovely 4x3. Actually, no, it's a 2x. What is it these days? 2x3. I'm just gonna drag it so it's a vertical 2x3. Punch over. Just enough to cut it out. See how that looks. Now it does look a little bit crooked, so we're gonna just go ahead and center it just a touch more. And boom. But I don't like that over there, so we're just gonna crop down just a hair. Punch in just a hair. There we go. Now let's go ahead and finish editing. Let's warm it up a little bit, brighten it up a little bit. Get our shadows up. Actually, we want to keep that warmth pretty low. We're gonna suck the blues out. We're just gonna suck everything except the greens. Actually, we can keep some yellows in there for the stem. There we go. So we just want to suck as much color out so there's no like imperfections in the snow, right? Okay, cool, good. Next, copy those settings. Move on to the other leaf photos. As you can see, they all look decent. So let's move to wood. Okay, so this is the photo I first took. So we've got the wood, we've got the backlight over here. So what you would do for this one, you would warm it up, brighten it up just ever so slightly, drop our highlights so we don't lose these trees up here, brighten our shadows here, warm just a hair, add some contrast to combat that, cool it down just a little bit, drop our blacks, go down here. Now here we're just going to brighten up the warmer colors, not overdo them. Okay, there we go. So let's go to one of the other photos I took. Alright, let's look at this one here, right? We've got this log's in focus, the foreground's blurred out, the background's blurred out. This one's looking good. We're going to darken it just a hair, cool it down to 6300. I'll bump the dehaze to like 20. And this photo, because of the styling, we're going to add a slight vignette because it looks better that way. Cool. So now the rest of the photos like that, we can just add that vignette too. Now this one, it looks good, it's just a little bit dark. And so I'll just keep going through the rest of these photos and I will catch you guys in a little bit when I'm done, because I'm already at 9 minutes of just this editing portion. Alright, so we have all the photos exported. I'll go ahead and show you what they look like on the screen. As you can see, they look very good, they look very clean, and that's just kind of what you're looking for in what I look for in snow photos. So if you found this video helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe while you're at it. It's free and it'll keep you up to date on everything I put out. 2023 is gonna be kind of crazy year, so probably want to stay tuned for all of that fun stuff. I'm heading back to school in 5 days, so I will catch you there. And yeah, take it easy, fam. Peace. Links are below for all my social media and all the equipment you saw featured in this video. So laptop, camera, you know, whole 9 yards. It's in the description below. I'll catch you guys around. Take it easy, fam. Peace.